So in this episode, I wanted to talk a bit about how to even begin and how I came to do this challenge. But before we get too much into that, I just want to say the challenge is going pretty well. The biggest challenge is not the diet, it's not the exercise, it's not the drinking the water. It's actually doing the recording and the video editing that is the challenge for me. But I'm still learning, and hopefully I will get better at managing this task over time. But that's also the fun at least. So pretty much I had my injury, and for many times of many years I have not really been able to do exercise without having a lot of symptoms. Though one kind of exercise that have always kept to me is walking. I've always tried to walk at least like 3 times a week, maybe 5 times a week if things were going well, just to get out and get my body moving a bit. Not long walks. For the last 10 years, my walks have been like 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. Sometimes on good days, they have been 5 kilometers. But in the recent year, and more specifically like last spring, I really started to ramp up my walking. And my walking have probably been like 5 or 6 days a week, averaging 5 kilometers, and also sometimes going for long walks like 10 kilometers. So, but that's also about my limit, where my limit is at. Another kind of exercise I've tried to get into over the years and kind of fallen off is yoga, because it's like, even though yoga is incredibly gentle in many ways, of course it can still be tough. But there was a time during my recovery phase where I couldn't even do yoga without triggering a lot of symptoms, and even the simplest exercises was not gentle enough. So that meant it never really stuck with me. But also this have slowly changed. 1.5 years ago, I tried to pick it up a bit again, and then over the winter, I kind of dropped it again. But then again, last spring, at the same time as I began to walk again, or walk more, then I also picked up yoga and got into the groove of things. And there was one channel I maybe want to mention that I really had luck with, called Bridget's Choice, I think it's called. I'll put the link in the description. But pretty much my biggest struggle with getting into yoga was always like, I'm not a beginner, I'm like more terrible. Like I'm way worse, I'm an ultra beginner. And sadly, a lot of the videos out there, I just could not do the exercises. And then you could do like one exercise, and then suddenly there was a whole bunch of exercises where it was impossible for me to follow. So it was a slow journey, just getting into the basics and being able to actually do the most basic things. So, but I'm happy now that I'm in no way advanced. I'm still like very bad at it, but at least I'm making progress and getting my mobility to be better. Around, it's like 9 months ago, 8 months ago, I was actually able to begin to strength train, and that is something that I've had a hard time with all the time. Like just a little bit of strenuous exercise, and I would trigger my typically it would be migraines, but it could also be nausea and different kind of brain overload symptoms. So, but pretty much that is a lot better, and I feel like as long as I don't do something too strenuous, like elevated pulse and really for a longer time, but just focus on doing muscle exercises until failure, then I feel like for the most part I don't get any symptoms from that. So, and that is a great improvement. That is really good for me. And something that have really been working well for me when it comes to exercise is actually to make some sort of a plan. I find it's much easier for me to get my exercise done if I have some kind of program to follow. And these days I actually do a 6-day program, working strength training every morning. I should start by qualifying that it's mostly I do this because I can do it from home. And the other nice thing, you don't have to go back and forth from the gym. And at the same time, my gym sessions is for this challenge, of course, I try to keep them 45 minutes or a bit longer. But actually, if there's a period where I don't feel so well, I can cut back on the exercises. And I feel actually that's a good way to go about it. It's better to get a little done every day, or at least most of the days, than have one big workout. For me, at least, that's one thing that that works very well for me. So number one, it's the consistency of just doing it every day. You don't have to think, you just do it. And the second part is you can keep the volume low and don't do too much or overstrain yourself by having some very long sessions. So it might be different for you, but for me, I feel like it has been extremely beneficial. When it comes to how I do my exercises, I try to do push, pull, legs, and then rest on Sunday. You can, of course, move around these three, but I really like how simple you can do it, because pretty much push, you do push-ups, pull, you do some kind of rowing motion. I can do one pull-up with bad form. I can do three with 3 chin-ups if I pull everything I got. So that motion is not really open to me at the moment. But doing a rowing motion and having some weights to do a rowing motion is something that's also quite simple to do and can be easy. And the last one for leg days, you have squats, and there's a million squat variations you can go for. If you do some kind of one-legged squat, you can get quite a bit of resistance on it without having extra weight. So that is something I've been going for. So with these 3 things in mind, like even for a very minimal program, you can do these 3 movements. And then what I found over time, I slowly build up, and instead of just having the push-ups, I'm trying to do like an incline press so it gets a bit more vertical. And with the kettlebells, you can also do this overhead press motion. And then of course there's the dip, so you can push down like this. So all in all, just thinking about ways to get pushing in different direction. And the same goes for the pulling up, pulling towards you, curling with your arms, or pulling mainly with your back, so you can get a workout on all the muscles. And I kind of feel like I have this period now where I'm just exploring pretty much and trying out all these different variations, finding out which one I like. And also, like in session, I sometimes find, okay, I do these 2 exercises in a row, and then my muscles will already be quite spent, and try to move things around. So that is not so much the case, and maybe changing just the variations a bit so I can actually get through as many things as possible. So that's kind of my early lifting experience, and so far it has been very interesting to me. Yeah, and to round it off, it's just I feel like having the rhythm is like the most important thing for me, and just don't put the bar too high so you exhaust yourself and you burn out. It's much better to have put limits on yourself and do too little, especially in the beginning. And also for me, I've very many times been overly enthusiastic and had to take long breaks or after where I could not do anything. So that's something I'm very aware of, and yeah, that's just how it is. But so far, yeah, I'm in a good mood, and I'm sure this challenge will keep on going for quite a while. It's a bit difficult for me to imagine how it would be to do all the 75 days, but I like to just take one day at a time and make sure I'm in a good flow and keep everything rolling and slowly get better. So yeah, thanks for watching.